A myriad of destroyed lives, thousands of destroyed houses, several hundred schools turned to rubble. Countless bridges, roads, power stations, railway infrastructure, and industry bombed. For Ukrainians, these are not just statistics. This is their everyday life. With the war waged by Russia against Ukraine having a devastating effect on the country's rail and road infrastructure, an active usage of inland shipping could be complementary in carrying commodities such as grain and iron. The EU assistance for Dnipro Transport Development Project and the Ministry of Infrastructure have been working closely together since 2019 to support Ukraine's inland waterway transport reform efforts and strengthen its inland navigation sector. To help assess the current context and future EU support policies for the sector, we have the team leader of the project, Edwin Locke. Glad to see you again, Edwin. As the assistance for Dnipro Transport Development Project entered a new phase this year, can you detail the planning ahead in terms of the project support to the sector and market development, digitalization of the sector and smart shipping planning, and of course, building the administrative capacity of the Ministry of Infrastructure and relevant inland waterways authorities?
Thank you, Ramona. Yes, very good that we can continue for another 1 year with our small inland waterway transport project in Ukraine. For this second phase, as we can call it, we are going to focus on assisting the ministry and governmental agencies with the implementation of their directives from the European Union that govern the inland waterway transport sector. To support that process, we provide some practical training under our capacity building program for the ministry and for the agencies like the Maritime Administration and the Shipping Register of Ukraine. And thirdly, we will try to make the inland waterway transport sector ready for the future. So after the Russians have left Ukraine, by preparing a plan for digitalization of inland waterway transport and introduction of smart shipping. So we're going to prepare a road plan for that. And of course, then the rivers will be navigable again for import and export, and we will assist with the promotion of inland waterway transport and look at the market developments so we can build the market observation system. So that's what we are going to do the coming year. With regard to the fleet, Ramona, the most important common challenge for this mode of transport is the integration of modern technology in the concept of the vessel, with a view to ensure optimal performances in terms of energy consumption, safety, and environmental impact. The newly defined standards set optimal conditions for sustainable development of the fleet's consumption. For Ukraine, given the need to modernize its fleet and to reinvest in capacity, the alignment to European standards may well constitute an economic prerequisite for a viable investment. Once the Ukrainian certificates are recognized at European Union level, the Ukrainian certified fleet fulfills the most important conditions for a European Union-wide operation of its vessels.
In the current unfortunate context, it goes without saying that the restructuring and modernization of Ukraine's inland waterway transport sector is a must. So is the country's gradual alignment towards operating standards and policies comparable to those in the EU. Why is the implementation in the Ukrainian legislation of the EU directives relevant both for river shipping companies and inland waterway transport personnel? And what is the EU support in the implementation process of such directives?
No, we know that Ms. von Leyen has promised Ukraine that they can be a member of the European Union in due time. So that means that also for inland waterways, Ukraine has to align to the directives that govern the sector from the European Union. And basically those are two directives. One is the technical conditions of the vessel, and secondly is the education and certification of personnel on board of vessels. But the whole idea behind is that you get a safer and environmental friendly mode of transport in due time. And for Ukraine, of course, here is an opportunity to join this system, enabling to fully exploit the potential of hinterland trade by its role as a Danube riparian state, and to align the domestic river system with the European network. So the new standards of professional competences for inland navigation may be considered as the common denominator of the European inland waterway transport states for the profession of inland crew member and boat master. And these competences reflect the standards and level adopted for similar professions, whereas the relevant procedures and educational provisions aim at transparency and making the inland waterway transport professional an all-round craftsperson. And much attention has been given to the efficiency of education and training, and with an emphasis on modern techniques such as simulators for training and examinations. In its method, the directive on professional competences is founded on the dual approach of acquiring knowledge by learning and gaining experience by doing. So the required qualifications for the respective functions on board inland vessels may be attained in a combination of examination at one side and practical sailing time. For Ukraine in particular, the entry into this profession at the level of boatman or matros in Ukrainian and helmsman will from now on be structured according to the up-to-date standards, offering the crew members real opportunity for employment and career.
Thank you, Edwin, for this insightful discussion. I hope for all of us to reunite soon with families, friends, and colleagues in beautiful and amazing Ukraine. With вами, Україна.
Thank you. Stay safe and slava Ukraini.